Hello viewers, welcome to the digital class of Udayanath Autonomous College of Science and Technology. In today's class, we will be describing what are the different network devices that are being used while data communication. That means in our communications, what devices do we need to interact with each other or to send information from one location to another location. So, as per the communication needs, we need some hardwares and softwares. So, today's video will be all about the hardwares or the devices which are needed to communicate with each other. So, let us move on to the slide, that is our today's topic. So, what do you mean by network devices? So, network devices means the hardware devices that are used to connect computers, printers, fax machines and other electronic devices to a network. Those are called as your network devices. So, network devices or networking hardware are physical devices that are required for communication and interaction between hardware on a computer network. So, these devices transfer data in a fast, secure and correct way over same or different networks. So, network devices may be inter-network or intra-network. So, some devices are installed on the device like NIC card or RJ45 connector, whereas some are part of the network like router, switch, etc. So, what do you mean by network devices? So, as we have discussed, so network devices means the hardwares that are being used while transferring the data from one location to another location. So, as we know, every device has some connectors or some devices which are actually combined together to form a communication. So, in our communications or while transferring of data, these devices combine with each other and they communicate with each other to send the information or data from one location to another locations. So, network devices means the devices which are actually used for sending the devices or sending the informations or receiving the informations. So, there are a lot of devices which are actually responsible for working or to communicate with each other. So, they may be the switch, a router, which we will be describing in our slides, and there are some other cables, wires like connectors are also there, like RJ45 connector is also there. So, a lot of devices, small and big devices are actually introduced in communication devices so that the information can be sent or be traveled from one location to another locations. So, now let us move on to the slide. Now, we will be describing how many types of network devices are there. So, as I have told, there is not a single device which is responsible for creating a network or transferring the data from one location to another location. So, there are different types of network devices which are actually responsible for communicating with each other. So, the first category is your repeater, then hub, then bridge, then switch, then router, and last one is your gateway. So, these are some of the network devices that are used to communicate with each other or to send information or data from one location to another location. Now, moving on to the next slide, we will be describing what do you mean by a repeater, that is your first category of network devices. So, a repeater operates at the physical layer. Its job is to regenerate the signal over the same network before the signal becomes too weak or corrupted so as to extend the length to which the signal can be transmitted over the same network. An important point to be noted about repeater is that they do not amplify the signal. When the signal becomes weak, they copy the signal bit by bit and regenerate it at the original strength. It is a two-port device. Now, we will be describing what do you mean by repeater. Now, what do you mean by a repeater? So, repeater is a device which actually works at the physical layer of the OSI model. So, we have already discussed what is OSI model. As we know, there are 7 layers of OSI model. So, actually the repeater works at the physical layer, that means the innermost layer of the OSI model. So, repeater is actually responsible for modulating the signal those are weak. That means whenever the signal becomes weak, at that time we use the repeater device because it modulates or it enlarges or it extends the capacity or the energy level of the wave that is being transferred. So, as we know, every wave has a capacity, that means at which energy level or at what energy level they are being thrown and they are being received. So it is not necessary that the sender and receiver always they will be in nearby places, maybe they are far away from each other. So at those times the wave or the energy of the wave decreases as when they travel from one location to another location. So when the level of energy decreases in the wave, at that time we point the location where the energy is being lowered, and at that time or at that place we use the repeater, so that the repeater will again increase the energy level of the wave and the wave will be transferred to the location or the receiver. So in this way the repeater actually works. So you can clearly see the image over here that how the repeater works. So here you can see there is a weakened signal, that means here we have a digital signal and the regenerated signal is also digital in nature. So repeater is not responsible for changing the signal, that means analog to digital or digital to analog. It is only responsible for modulating the signals, the weakened signal, to the energy level which or the wave which has the highest energy levels. So you can clearly see the weakened signal, that means the level of the energy of the wave is decreasing. Here you can see the signal length is or the height is much higher, then it decreases, then again it decreases, then again it decreases. But when it comes to the repeater, it gives a constant signal, that means this is the weakened signal and this is the regenerated signal. So that's why it has been told that repeater is being used at those places where the signal gets weakened, and you can see the weakened signal gets transferred to the new form where the energy level is maximum. So this is the image of a repeater where there are two ports, which is actually a two-port device and which actually converts or which actually transfers the data bit by bit. That means every data that will be transferred will be in the form of bits, that is 0 and 1. So here it is in digital form. Again the regenerated signal, those are having the highest or the maximum energy level, is again in bit format. So all the data are being sent by bit. So this is all about your repeater. Now we will be moving to the next category, that is your hub. So what do you mean by a hub? So a hub is basically a multi-point or a multi-port repeater. So a hub connects multiple wires coming from different branches. For example, the connector in star topology which connects different substations. So hubs cannot filter data, so data packets are sent to all connected devices. In other words, collision domain of all hosts connected through hub remains 1. Also, they do not have the intelligence to find out best path for data packet, which leads to inefficiencies and wastage. So what do you mean by a hub? So hub is another network device which is actually used for multi-port devices. That means if we want to connect multiple devices to a single port and they must communicate with each other through a single port, then we use we take the help of a hub. So hub has multi-ports in which multiple devices can be connected to a single system or a single network. So we can take an example of a star topology. So when there are multiple devices and we can connect multiple ports or the ports from each system and we connect it to the hub so that it will work under a network. So hub is actually used for connecting more than 2 or more devices to combine each other and to form a network. We can take a simple example of a USB hub also. You must have seen the USB hub. That means for a single point on USB port on the CPU must have multiple ports in which we can insert more than one pen drives or more than one USB ports. So all the devices work together under a single point. So that is called a USB hub. So hub is actually multi-port device which helps different devices to connect through the port and connect it to a system or a network. Now you can clearly see the picture of a hub over here. So this is the hub device which has multiple ports, you can see over here, and each port is connected to a system. That means every port, we can say that we have here RJ45 connector. So using RJ45 connector we can connect it to the hub and the other end with a system. So you can clearly see over here that there are many systems which are being connected to the hub. So hub comes with many ports. So as per the requirement of the system or the system that we have in our office or lab or anywhere, so accordingly we can take the size of the hub. So you can see that every devices is being connected to the hub, and when all these devices are being connected with the hub and the hub gets switched on, then all these devices are able to connect with each other and they can share their information as well as their resources. So what do you mean by the resources over here? So here you can see I have connected a printer over here. That means whenever I will give a printout from any system, then the printer will receive the signal and it will get the printout. So similarly, if I will connect it to a modem, that means through this modem all the devices are connected to the hub, and when the modem will have the internet, so all the devices will share the internet. So that's why hub is actually a device which is used to share information and resources. So all these devices can communicate among each other, share their information as well as the resources. That means they can use other devices like modem, printer, plotter, etc. So this is all about your hub. Next we will be moving to the types of hub. So basically there are three types of hub. So first one is your active hub. So these are the hubs which have their own power supply and can clean, boost and relay the signal along with the network. It serves both as a repeater as well as a wiring center. They are used to extend the maximum distance between the nodes. So what do you mean by the active hub? So active hub have their own power supply. That means they need the power supply. That means they have the capability of holding the power supply when they are being used. So they can clean, boost and relay the signal along with the network. That means the network that is being used, they can be cleaned. If there will be network congestion, then that they can be cleaned. They can be boost. That means if there will be some deficiency in the, or there will be any decrease in the energy level, they can boost the signal and they can relay the signal. That means if we want to add some energy or we want to increase the amplitude of a signal, then we can relay it. So it serves both as a repeater as well as a wiring center. That means the active hub can be used as a repeater. That means it can be used for increasing the signal strength, and it can be also be used in the wiring center. That means wherever we need to wire something or to communicate or to connect the devices to a single connection, that place also we can use the active hub. So they are used to extend the maximum distance between the nodes. So when the nodes are at maximum distances, at that time we can take the help of active hub, so that they can be used and they can be used to monitor or to send the information from one source to the other source. Next one is your passive hub. So what do you mean by the passive hub? So these are the hubs which collect wiring from nodes and power supply from the active hub. That means these are the subdivisions, or they are the nodes which actually get the power supply from the active hub. These hubs relay signals onto the network without cleaning and boosting them, and they can be used to extend the distance between nodes. That means these hubs actually relay signals but without cleaning and boosting. That means they will, if there will be any network congestion, then they will not clean the signal or they will not clean the path, and they will not be used to boost the signals. That means we cannot use the passive hub to increase the energy level, and they cannot be used to extend the distance between the nodes. That means the nodes distance cannot be extended by using the passive hub as compared to active hub. And the last one is our intelligent hub. So what do you mean by intelligent hub? So it works like active hubs and include remote management capabilities. They also provide flexible data rate to network devices. It also enables an administrator to monitor the traffic passing through the hub and to configure each port of the hub. That means what do you mean by intelligent hub? So as the name suggests, it has the intelligence of its own. That means when there will be any decrease in the level of energy, then it can increase. It can clean also the signals whenever there will be network congestion. It can boost the signals also. It can monitor the traffic passing through the hub, and at any requirement they can also use to configure each port. That means if there will be some reset in the configuration of the port, then they can be used to configure each port in the hub. So as we know, as we have discussed, there are three types of hub, that is your active hub, next one is your passive hub, and the last one is your intelligent hub. So now we will be moving to another category of network devices, that is your bridge. So bridges are used to connect two or more host or network segments together. The basic role of bridges in network architecture is storing and forwarding frames between the different segments that the bridge connects. They use hardware media access control addresses for transferring frames. By looking at the MAC address of the devices connected to each segment, bridges can forward the data or block it from crossing. So bridges can be used to connect two physical LANs into a larger logical LAN. So bridges work only at the physical and data link layers of the OSI model. So bridges are used to divide larger networks into smaller sections by sitting between two physical network segments and managing the flow of data between the two. Now you can clearly see the image over here. This is the construction, or this is the picture of a bridge. So you can see there is a bridge between two LANs. That means there is a LAN over here, there is another LAN over here. That means there are two systems, or there can be more systems in a single LAN, and they are connected to a hub. That means this hub actually connects the LAN over here, and here another hub is there which connect two LANs or two devices over there. So this is one LAN connection, and this is another LAN connection. So bridge is actually used to connect between the two LANs. That means if I suppose, let's say I have a building and I have a LAN connection over here in one floor, and I have another LAN connection over here in another floor, then they can be connected through the bridge. So bridge is actually used to connect more than one LAN connections. That means if we want to configure the whole building and all the LANs are in different floors, in that place the bridge can be used. So you can see another image over here. This is segment 1. That means here I have 4 systems. Those are connected to each other through any device. Let's say they are connected to each other with a hub. So we can have another segment 2 over here, in which there are 4 systems and they are connected through a hub, let's say. And here there is a bridge which is actually connecting both the devices. That means this connection, or this is a structure of a bus topology. Let's say this bus is connected to one port of the bridge and the segment 2 bus is connected to another port of the bridge. Then both the devices or both the segments are connected with each other through the help of a bridge. So this is the working, or this in this type the bridge helps to connect more than one LAN with each other to share information and resources. That means if we have internet connection in one LAN connection, then they can also be shared to other LAN connection over another building or another floor of the building through the bridge. So in this way we can connect, or we can take the help of bridge to connect more than 2 LANs. Now moving on to the next part, that is your switch. So switch is a multi-port bridge with a buffer and a design that can boost its efficiency. A larger number of ports imply less traffic and performance. A switch is a data link layer device. The switch can perform error checking before forwarding data. That makes it very efficient, as it does not forward packets that have errors and forward good packets selectively to correct port only. In other words, switch divides collision domain of host, but broadcast domain remains same. So what do you mean by switch? So switch is another category of network devices which has the capability of connecting many devices with each other. But switch has a benefit that whenever there is an error, then it will not forward the error to other ports. That means if it will encounter any type of error, that may be any type of error, that may be bit error or they can be burst error. So if there will be single bit error or there may be burst error, then any error it will find, then it will not forward the error packets to or it will not forward the packets to different ports. So it will first correct the errors and then it will forward the packets. So in this way, switch is actually used at the data link layer so that it is used for error detection and correction purposes. Now we will be moving to the slide in which we will be describing the image of a switch. Now you can clearly see the image of a switch, then how a switch works. So this is a switch, this is a device in which the devices are connected. That means the switch acts as a center in which all the devices are being connected. So here you can see the image of a switch. The switch has multiple ports over here in which the devices are being connected. So these are some of the systems. You can connect the laptops, you can connect the phones, everything you want. Here you can connect a router over here, you can connect a printer over here, you can attach a plotter over here, you can attach an internet connection over here. So everything is possible in case of switch. So switch is actually used for connecting the devices on a network, but it is slightly different from the hub. That means we can use a hub over here also, but what is the difference between a switch and a hub is that the hub does not have the capability of detecting and correcting the errors, but switch has the capability of detecting the errors and correcting it. That's why in most places we use switch in place of hub. So a switch is actually very similar to a hub in which there are multiple ports, and all the devices will be connected to each port through the RJ45 connector. So this is all about the construction of a switch. Now we will be moving to the next part, that is a router. So router is a device like a switch that routes data packets based on the IP addresses. So router is mainly a network layer device. Routers normally connect LANs and MANs together and have a dynamically updating routing table based on which they make decisions on routing the data packets. So router divide broadcast domains of host connected through it. So router are also used to divide internal networks into two or more subnetworks. So routers can also be connected internally to other routers, creating zones that operate independently. So routers establish communication by maintaining tables about destinations and local connections. A router contains information about the systems connected to it and where to send the request if the destination isn't known. So what do you mean by router over here? You can clearly see there is a router device connected, and where all the systems are being connected. That means through the router we can connect a laptop, we can connect a TV, we can connect a smartphone through the help of a modem. So actually at first modem was different and router was different, but nowadays a modem is actually confined within a router. That means the modem comes with a router in those days. That means every modem has a capability of converting the wired network to wireless network. So wherever you will be using router, you can simply say that a router is a device which actually convert the wired device to wireless device. So you can clearly see the image over here that the modem is connected to the internet, and when the internet is supplied to the router, so the router is no more connecting all the devices with the wired or cables. So it uses wireless devices, let's say Wi-Fi, to connect the TV, smartphone, laptop or any other devices those are having the Wi-Fi connections. That means through the router we can connect any device those are having the Wi-Fi devices with them. So router is a device which actually converts the wired to wireless connections, and in this way the router is being used at many locations where there is a need of Wi-Fi campus or there is a need of any wireless campuses. So now we will be moving to the next part, that is your gateway. So what do you mean by a gateway? A gateway, as the name suggests, is a passage to connect two networks together that may work upon different networking models. That means gateway is the passage through which two different networks connect with each other and they share their models. They basically work as the messenger agents that take data from one system, interpret it and transfer it to the another system. That means you can clearly see a gateway over here. A gateway is connected to the internet and there are different stations. That means there is a web server, there are different workstations over here. So gateway is the passage through which these workstations or servers will be connected to the internet. So it actually allows the devices to get connected to the internet. So it is the passage through which the internet will be connected. So if a gateway will not open, then the devices will be unable to connect to the internet. So it is the gateway only that actually transfers the data from one location to another location through the help of the internet. So gateways are also called as protocol converters and can operate at any network layer. That means gateway actually works at the network layer and they can convert any protocol as per the requirement of the internet. So gateways are generally more complex than switch or router. So basically gateways are complicated as compared to the working of a switch or a router, because it actually works as a passage through which the servers or the workstations or any devices are getting connected to the internet. So in this way we can take the help of a gateway. So I hope you all have understood what are network devices, what are the categories of network devices. So there are actually many devices which are helping to form a network, but these are the important and basic network devices that are being used while data communication. So in our next video we will be moving to some next part. Till then, thank you.